Have you been getting that feeling lately that things are finally starting to click? You know what I mean. Like all those random experiences and struggles you've had are suddenly making sense, and you can see how they've been preparing you for something bigger. And the crazy part is, opportunities are probably showing up that weren't there before. Connections happening at just the right time. If you're watching this right now, you're probably in that phase where everything's about to line up. You've done the work, you've learned the lessons, and now it's all coming together. What you've been building toward is finally ready to happen. But here's what most people don't know. There's actually a way to recognize when you're in this phase and speed up the process instead of accidentally sabotaging it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the 3 signs that confirm you're in this alignment phase. And more importantly, the one thing most people do that actually pushes their breakthrough away just when it's about to happen. You'll learn exactly how to work with this process instead of against it, so everything can fall into place naturally. Because here's what I've discovered. Timing isn't just about waiting. It's about recognizing the moment and knowing how to move with it. Here's what I've noticed about people who seem to have life figured out. They've stopped trying to force things to happen and started paying attention to what's already unfolding. Think about it this way. You know how when you lose something and you search frantically everywhere, and then the moment you stop looking, you find it? That's not coincidence. That's how alignment actually works. The harder you grip, the more life slips through your fingers. This happens because your brain is constantly scanning for problems to solve, threats to avoid, outcomes to control. It's like having a security guard in your head who never sleeps and treats everything as a potential emergency. But here's what changes everything. That guard isn't protecting you from danger. It's protecting you from flow. When you stop fighting the current of your life and start moving with it, something shifts. Opportunities appear that were always there, but invisible to your problem-solving mind. People show up at exactly the right moment. Doors open that you didn't even know existed. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't about becoming passive or giving up. It's about learning to recognize when you're swimming upstream and having the wisdom to turn around. If you're still here, you already understand something most people will spend their whole lives missing. The fact that you're taking time to explore this deeper layer tells me you're ready for what I'm about to share next. Most people will scroll past content like this because it asks them to question everything they think they know. But you're different. If this is resonating with you, please subscribe. What I've come to understand is that there are really 2 ways to live: in resistance or in recognition. Most people spend their entire lives in resistance mode, pushing against what is, trying to force what isn't, and wondering why everything feels so hard. But every once in a while, you meet someone who moves differently through the world. They don't seem stressed about outcomes. They make decisions from a calm place. When things don't go as planned, they adapt without falling apart. It's like they have access to information the rest of us don't. Here's their secret. They've learned to recognize the difference between what they can influence and what's already in motion. They've stopped treating life like a problem to be solved and started treating it like a dance to be danced. And what becomes clear when you make this shift is that most of what you've been trying to control was never yours to control in the first place. The job that didn't work out was clearing space for something better. The relationship that ended was teaching you what you actually need. The plans that fell through were protecting you from settling for less than what's meant for you. In this space, something shifts. You stop feeling like life is happening to you and start feeling like it's happening for you. Take a moment and think about the last time something didn't go according to your plan. But looking back now, you can see it was actually perfect timing. Maybe a door closed that led you to the right door. Maybe a delay put you exactly where you needed to be. I want you to notice what happens in your body when you consider that maybe, just maybe, life has been conspiring in your favor all along, even when it didn't feel that way. If you tried that, you probably felt something shift, even slightly. That's recognition starting to replace resistance. Here's what's happening on a deeper level. Your nervous system has been trained to interpret uncertainty as danger. Every time life doesn't go according to plan, your brain hits the panic button. But uncertainty isn't the enemy. It's the space where possibilities live. I know this is a lot to take in, especially if you've been trying to control outcomes for most of your life. The fact that you're still processing this shows you're ready to work with life instead of against it. What happens when you start recognizing this pattern is that you begin to see how much energy you've been wasting trying to push rivers uphill. All that mental effort you've been spending on scenarios that never happen, outcomes you can't control, people you can't change. Imagine if you redirected all of that energy toward what's actually in your hands. The people who seem to have life figured out aren't lucky or special. They've just learned to tell the difference between what's theirs to handle and what belongs to life itself. They show up, they do their part, and then they trust the process. And slowly, you begin to see that the process was always trustworthy. You just couldn't see it from where you were standing. Here's something you can start doing immediately that will change how you experience your days. Instead of asking, "How do I make this happen?" start asking, "How do I align with what's already happening?" The next time you notice yourself trying to force an outcome, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what if this is unfolding exactly as it needs to? Then look for the next right step, not the entire staircase. This means when you're stuck in traffic, instead of fighting it, you use the time to think, or breathe, or listen to something that feeds your soul. When a conversation doesn't go how you planned, you listen for what it's actually trying to teach you. When your timeline gets disrupted, you trust that the new timing might be better than your original plan. What you should notice as you practice this is a sense of ease that wasn't there before. Your shoulders drop. Your breathing deepens. Decisions become clearer because you're not fighting the current anymore. You're reading it. This is just the foundation. Once you master this shift from resistance to recognition, there's a way to actually accelerate the alignment process, which is what we'll explore next time. Over the next few days, you'll start noticing how much mental energy you've been spending on things outside your control. Within a week, people around you will sense something different about your energy. You'll feel more grounded, less frantic. Change happens in layers, not overnight. Every time you catch yourself trying to force something and choose to align instead, you're rewiring decades of conditioning. Most people never even question whether their way of approaching life is working. The fact that you're even considering this puts you ahead of most of the world. Before you go, hit that subscribe button if you want more content like this. I share practical insights about alignment and personal transformation every week. And drop a comment below. What's one opportunity or connection that's shown up for you lately that felt like perfect timing? I read every comment, and your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear.